We started with an application for a youth license in 2021, voted at the AGM against by the members, primarily because of finances, because if Calpe City is allowed to become a member, then they need to share the money. Then thereafter, in the same meeting, the membership approved for Calpe City to be given a youth license. The youth license was not forthcoming. And thereafter, following some technicalities where the members, except Lincoln Red Imps, were voting against to ensure that 100 kids played football, we wanted to keep the 5 teams together, so we decided to join Europa Point FC. From there, as my statement says, we have met our obligations, they haven't, and we have had no choice but to terminate the heads of terms. It all boils down to funding as well. Obviously, there are legal obligations which I cannot expose any further. When it boils down to UEFA Solidarity Funds and the money is not invested in young people, then we've had to take a stand and terminate the heads of terms.
The Europa Point dispute, we can't really comment on because we're looking into it. We initiated some communication with Europa Point the moment we were told by Calpe City that there were issues. But this was very recent, so we have not had time to either receive a response. We're due to meet them next week, actually. And the second part, I don't think it's accurate to say that the members actually voted against their membership. Because when their application for full membership came before the General Assembly a couple of years ago, before it was voted, there was a healthy discussion from different members, and it was actually decided to be set aside whilst we conducted this statutory review that we were doing with UEFA and FIFA, in which we were going to explore whether it was possible to award a youth license for clubs to compete without actually pursuing a full membership process. And I think it's not fair to say that the clubs voted against, because, to be completely honest, it has never actually got to an actual vote.
Really, sometimes the hands are tied, because at the end of the day, what is important for me, which I've already said in the past, is for GFA to change its constitution, because they need to change the constitution. After all, if not, the members will have the rights always to dictate how football is run in Gibraltar. At the end of the day, we all want the best, all clubs, whether they voted in favour or not of Calpe City, all clubs and all people involved want the best for young people in Gibraltar. We were always hopeful that the youth license would be given to us so that we were allowed to play football until under 16s. That has not been forthcoming. But I always say, like 5.2 of the youth rules, I would have hoped that would have been extended to us and not having to join Europa Point in the first place. Obviously, that hasn't happened. My understanding is that members also voted against that youth license, but that is not for me to answer. That is for something for the GFA to answer. If we're not allowed to play under 5.2 of the youth rules as Calpe City, and as the GFA statement itself that we need to integrate with another club, then we will try and integrate them not only to Lincoln FC, but if some of the Lincoln teams are full as well, then we would have to move elsewhere and ask clubs to take on the kids. What is most important here, which I've agreed with the General Secretary, is that all kids need to play football in Gibraltar.
The priority for both sides is that those kids don't lose out. There will always be challenges, but everyone sort of is very focused on making sure that youth football develops. So I think the message, definitely from the perspective of what I've heard, that kids are going to lose out, that is definitely not going to be the case. And look, if Calpe City and the parents and the kids really want to continue playing under the badge of Calpe City, then the avenue of continuing to full membership still exists. And we will, of course, facilitate that and assist them with the process as we have done in the past, and engage with our existing members to, have positive discussions and make sure that there's a good solution for everyone.